What is it about young talent that captivates the world? Musicians who seem to burn brighter than the rest, leaving us in awe of their brilliance, only for their lights to go out far too soon. The music they left behind becomes both a gift and a haunting reminder of what could have been. Today we'll be remembering the artists who left us before their 30th birthdays. Brace yourself as we honor the legacies of musicians we lost before turning 30, Part 1.
#1, but I'm gonna dance for 3 or 4.
The 1950s rock and roll scene wouldn't have been the same without Eddie Cochran. His hit Summertime Blues captured the rebellious spirit of a generation. Cochran's innovative guitar techniques, including his pioneering use of overdubbing, made him a standout artist at just 21. On April 17, 1960, after performing at the Bristol Hippodrome, Cochran was involved in a devastating car crash in Chippenham, England, that ended his life. He was traveling with fellow musician Gene Vincent and his fiancée Sharon Sheeley, both of whom survived. Cochran's death wasn't just a personal tragedy, it marked the end of an era. A piece of trivia that surprises many? Cochran's Gretsch 6120 guitar survived the crash and later inspired countless musicians, including George Harrison. Aaliyah was more than a singer. She was a trailblazer who merged R&B with futuristic production, creating hits like One in a Million and Are You That Somebody? But her impact extended beyond music, as she was poised to dominate Hollywood after her acclaimed roles in Romeo Must Die and Queen of the Damned. On August 25, 2001, after filming her music video in the Bahamas, tragedy struck. The small plane carrying Aaliyah and her crew crashed due to overloading, killing everyone on board. Few realize that Aaliyah's groundbreaking achievements came at such a young age. She signed her first record deal at 12. Her lasting influence is felt in music and fashion to this day. Rest in peace, dear Aaliyah. Metallica's Cliff Burton revolutionized heavy metal bass, playing with his complex solos and classical influences, evident in tracks like Orion. Fans still marvel at how Burton's use of the wah-wah pedal redefined the bass guitar's role in the genre. On September 27, 1986, Metallica's tour bus crashed in Sweden, killing Burton at just 24. A chilling detail? Burton had won his bunk in a card game the night before. Fans might be surprised to know that Burton's favorite classical composer was Johann Sebastian Bach, whose melodic style inspired much of his work. His dedication to music was legendary. He practiced for 6 hours a day, even on tour. Randy Rhoads, the guitarist who solos on Crazy Train, still awe listeners, blended classical music with heavy metal like no one else. Before joining Ozzy Osbourne's band, Rhoads was a founding member of Quiet Riot. He often studied classical guitar between tours, even teaching music theory to young students in his spare time. On March 19, 1982, during a brief break from touring, Rhoads boarded a small plane for a joyride. Tragically, the pilot lost control, crashing into their tour bus and killing Rhoads at just 25. What many may not know is that Rhoads didn't see himself as a rock star. He dreamed of leaving the industry to focus entirely on classical music. Pigpen McKernan brought a raw blues influence to the Grateful Dead, making their sound unique among the psychedelic bands of the 60s. Unlike his bandmates, Pigpen avoided LSD, choosing whiskey as his muse. His soulful voice lit up tracks like Turn on Your Love Light, and his harmonica skills were unmatched. Years of heavy drinking, however, took a devastating toll on his health. On March 8, 1973, aged 27, he was found dead of a gastrointestinal hemorrhage at his home in Corte Madera, California, by his landlady. Despite his rough image, Pigpen was a quiet and reflective person, often seen sketching or journaling backstage during long tours. His death left a void in the Dead's lineup that was never truly filled. Brian Jones was the Rolling Stones' founder and multi-instrumentalist, shaping their early hits with his mastery of exotic instruments like the sitar and dulcimer. Yet Jones's life was fraught with conflict. His drug use and erratic behavior led to his departure from the band in 1969. On July 3, 1969, Jones was found dead in his swimming pool, just weeks after leaving the band. While officially ruled an accident, conspiracy theories still swirl. Jones's artistry extended beyond music. He was deeply interested in avant-garde cinema and had plans to score films before his death. His eclectic tastes and contributions still influence the Stones' legacy. Boon wasn't just the guitarist of the Minutemen, he was the soul of the punk movement, known for his explosive playing and politically charged lyrics. Boon grew up in San Pedro, California, where he formed the band with his best friend, Mike Watt. On December 22, 1985, while traveling with friends, Boon was thrown from the back of a van after it swerved, breaking his neck and killing him instantly. Few know that Boon was an advocate for social change, often donating his earnings to local charities. His passing at 27 left a gaping hole in the punk community, cutting short a career that had so much more to say. Kristen Pfaff brought depth and emotion to Hole, with her masterful bass lines on Live Through This. A classical musician turned grunge icon, Pfaff's journey was anything but ordinary. She moved from Minnesota to Seattle to join Hole, but the pressures of fame and addiction became overwhelming. On June 16, 1994, Pfaff was found dead in her apartment from a heroin overdose, just as she was preparing to leave the Seattle scene behind. A lesser-known fact? Kristen was also a gifted visual artist, with several paintings displayed in local galleries during her lifetime. Her death marked a heartbreaking chapter in the already fragile grunge movement.
You're so sweet, you're so fine.
Marc Bolan, the enigmatic frontman of T-Rex, brought glam rock to the forefront with hits like Cosmic Dancer and Children of the Revolution. Despite his flamboyant stage persona, Bolan was deeply introspective, writing poetry and exploring mysticism. On September 16, 1977, a car accident claimed Bolan's life at just 29. An eerie detail? Bolan, who never learned to drive, had a lifelong fear of cars. Few know that he was working on a children's book about fairies at the time of his death. His vibrant personality and timeless music continue to inspire artists today. Hank Williams is often called the father of country music, but few realize just how prolific he was, penning over 160 songs in a career that spanned less than a decade. Williams' ability to distill heartache and joy into 3-minute masterpieces like Cold, Cold Heart is unparalleled. Plagued by chronic back pain and addiction, Williams died in the back seat of his car en route to a New Year's Day concert in 1953. He was just 29. What many don't know is that his final song, I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive, was eerily prophetic, released just weeks before his death. His legacy lives on, defining country music for generations. The stories of these young musicians remind us of how fleeting brilliance can be. Though their time was short, their music continues to inspire and resonate, echoing across generations. Which of these stories moved you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join us as we explore more tales of music and legacy in Part 2. Until next time, keep the music alive.